The NFL is the most unpredictable league out of the 5 major sports.
True.
With that being said, it's been pretty predictable with the Patriots going to the Super Bowl every single year for a while, right? But let's talk about the AFC real quick. The Chiefs without Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt might not be contenders again. The Ravens lost a lot of their defense, but they did get Lamar Jackson, a receiver. Who else are we talking about in the AFC? The Jets are on the rise, but the biggest talent that was the Pittsburgh Steelers has fallen apart. Antonio Brown is now a Raider, and Le'Veon Bell is a New York Jet. With that being said, the Browns are up next in my opinion because stacked on both sides of the ball. They're going to be contenders.
I don't believe they're ready to be contenders just yet. I believe a deep playoff run, but not contenders.
That's it?
Would you like to continue on to why you think the Browns are contenders?
All right, listen. Everyone, this is what everyone was talking about, right? Odell Beckham wants the ball. Jarvis Landry wants the ball. When Kareem Hunt comes back, he wants the ball. Nick Chubb wants the ball. Baker Mayfield's going to have a lot of options. He might not be in any predicament because he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's the franchise quarterback. But then you also bring up Freddie Kitchens, and people are saying, well, yeah, he knows Freddie Kitchens, but he knows Baker Mayfield, but this is Freddie Kitchens' first year as a head coach. I think you got something to say about that.
I just don't think with a team this experienced, I don't think Freddie McKitchens is going to be able to handle this locker room. With the personalities there are in the locker room, we've seen where players, just because you get a super stacked locker room, doesn't mean they always mesh. We've seen it T.O., Donovan McNabb. It happens all the time in this league where two great talents are matched up and you get terrible, terrible results because of beefing. You have players that are thinking more about outside of the game than inside the game. You have players trying to build brands instead of trying to build a legacy on the field. There are players that they're just going to think that they're the best, they're better than everyone. It's going to be a lot of fighting and a lot of feuding in the locker room, and I just don't think that's going to be enough for Super Bowl contention year one.
The reason why I really don't think that's the biggest issue here because this isn't manufactured relationships. This isn't a relationship where it was like the team signed players and they were like, now you guys got to work together. Jarvis Landry has known Odell Beckham Jr. since they were high schoolers. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of high school. And Freddie Kitchens has known Baker Mayfield because he's coached them before. And when the quarterback and the coach have a relationship in such a star-studded team, that might be the biggest thing. I mean, for God's sake, we saw how shitty the relationship between McAdoo and Eli was because McAdoo wanted to call bad plays and Eli just didn't care because it was just a bad team. So manufactured relationships, usually the cause of drama because Eli and Odell didn't fit. But I'm thinking young guys, they're all young. They all want to win. They're hungry. I think they all have that one constant where it's like, we got to do this together.
But there's one variable you're forgetting about, and that variable is money. Money drives the world. Now, you get a couple guys. Of course, Jarvis and Odell, they've known each other for a while. They've been good friends for a while. But they didn't have to fight. They were both NFL. They were both definite NFL players. They were both definite top college program kids. Now you throw them on a team that's got limited cap space. So it's, who are we going to throw our money at? Who are we going to give more money to? That's the problem. Even though it's manufactured relationships, things can fall apart when money's involved. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows over in Cleveland with this. Just because they've known each other for a little while, it doesn't mean that money won't get in the way. Money. Even touching the ball, too. These guys, to get money, they're going to have to touch the ball a lot. They're going to have to put up big numbers. That's how you get big money in the NFL. If you put up big numbers, you get big numbers in your check. If that's how it works in the NFL. You have Nick Chubb, who's trying to prove himself that he is a star running back. You have, what's his name? Kareem Hunt coming back now. Now he's going to want to prove that, hey, look, I made a mistake. I deserve a second chance, and this is why. Then you have Odell and Jarvis, who are both going to want the ball because they're both, in their head, in their minds, number one receivers. And I don't think Jarvis is ready to give that up yet.
Okay, I totally understand it, and yeah, Odell has the money though, but I think what you're saying is that he's gonna want to prove that he's earned it now.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, obviously.
Okay, yeah, and obviously we know what they're capable on the offensive end. I just want to bring up some stats here from last year. Right, they finished the season 7-8-1. I think second in division or third in division, but you look right here, they lost to the Ravens by 2, who are in a division, like I said before, have lost most of their defense, but we'll see how Lamar Jackson does with Brown. They lost to the Buccaneers in OT by a field goal, and then again in overtime to the Raiders by field goal. And we might be talking, if that wasn't the case, we might be talking about 11-5 here for the Browns. We might be talking about 11-5 for the Browns if Odell Beckham Jr. gets them a couple points over the hump. That's how crazy that jump is for me. That's why I say that.
I don't say they're Super Bowl contenders, but they're, in my eyes, there's literally no shot that they don't come in. There's literally no shot that they don't make the playoffs. You're in a division with the Steelers, who just lost everything, even though they're still probably going to be a solid team. The Bengals, who have just been miserable for a little while now. And the Ravens, who they lost a lot of pieces in their defense. So I think that it's going to be a rebuilding years for all three teams except for the Browns. The Browns are finally the team that isn't rebuilding in the AFC.
I think Baker likes this pressure. Why? Because last season his favorite target was David Njoku, the tight end. Mm-hmm. And again, an underrated piece on our offense. What do you put Odell and Jarvis next to him? And Njoku averaged 11.4 yards per play. Baker threw 7-7. So that tells me that, I mean, you put Odell and Jarvis out there, he's gonna be his yards might go up to like 15 per. That's what I'm saying. Like the hump isn't even such a small hump. It's a huge jump. And offense is gonna win you games in the NFL. But their defense, they just drafted Greedy Williams. They got Denzel Ward on the other side. But Sheldon Richardson, Myles Garrett, a jumpy Olivier Vernon who can play outside linebacker and defensive end.
He's probably going to be looking at that.
Bro, that defense played good last year.
It's the same thing with Sheldon Richardson. He plays both.
So who do you think really stops the Browns from being Super Bowl contenders? That's the real question.
I think it's personalities in the locker room. I think that's the problem. And especially the fact that the quarterback is supposed to be the leader. The quarterback is a second-year guy who I'm iffy about his character.
But
I don't know about him.
He's a good leader though.
I don't know. Because he's shown before that he does make stupid, impulsive decisions before. He's shown it on the field and off the field, especially with the way he's cocky, the way you could see he carries himself like he's the best. And another thing, off the field too. I mean, there's been some major issues, especially with the video that released a while ago when he was still in Oklahoma, in which he was running away from cops when they were arresting him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guy. He was hammered out of his mind, and he tried to make it away. He couldn't get more than 5 feet.
Did he get his ass beat or something?
Yeah, I mean, you got to know that you're a little bit less athletic than that. Like, but I mean, it's just I don't know how they're gonna do with a rookie head coach and a second-year quarterback, and they're supposed to be your leaders.
I don't know if we could get on Baker like that because we watched the Cleveland Browns and Hard Knocks, and I'm sure that there was dramatization. I'm sure there was.
Hard Knocks is not a good measurement of anything.
No.
It's all dramatized for TV.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying but at the same time, the results are real that come out of it. At the end of the day, what happens is real. That's what I'm saying.
What happens is real. What happens, yeah.
I'm saying, if Baker's on camera like that, I'm sure he's. You said he's cocky. Yes, he is cocky. But if he's on camera like that, talking to officials and coaches like that, I think.
I mean, that's also with a camera in front of his face.
But that's what I want from my quarterback. I want my quarterback to be cocky. I want my quarterback to have this overload of confidence.
I want him to be confident too, but I don't want him to be overconfident, when he's causing me problems. When you have a bunch of other cocky guys in the locker room, and you're gonna go out there, and you are gonna be. Baker Mayfield is going to want to be the center of attention with that team. And that's going to be a very hard thing to do with all the storylines surrounding this team. You have a lot of things going on with this team, and I feel like every person is going to want more and more for their own.
You think they're going to have a tough time balancing who gets touches?
I think that's going to be a struggle in the first half. I think they can.
Well, Kareem Hunt isn't going to be back for 8 games.
I know. I think they can get over that. But then again, Kareem Hunt comes back into the picture. I feel like it's just going to be a lot of adjusting throughout the regular season. So the record might not show how good they actually are, I feel. I feel like the record might not show as good as they are.
That's what I
believe they're going to be a deep playoff team. I just don't think Super Bowl contention just yet. I say give them a year, maybe even 2.
All right. So what you're telling me is football isn't going to putting football fourth and making football the priority isn't going to stop from all the drama. That's basically your thesis.
I think no matter where they go, I think there's going to be drama with that Browns team.
Okay. But listen, I honestly think, because we know Odell didn't want to get traded, right? If Odell doesn't want to get traded and he's putting on his fake smile to market himself in Cleveland because, best receiver, maybe the best talent at receiver we've ever seen. So maybe he's marketing himself to the Cleveland Browns fan base, and then Jarvis Landry, who tries to be a vocal leader on that team. But I think Kareem Hunt is going to be like, damn, I just f***ed up all that. I don't think I'm too hot when I come back.
So see, after seeing Kareem Hunt's interviews, I think that he really is the kind of guy that's going to go out there and want to prove himself that, look, I made some stupid mistakes off the field, but let's not take this away from the on the field aspect. I want to prove that I'm better than this. I feel like that's the
He's
kind
another
of
guy that might want a contract. So
Exactly,
I see that.
Another problem with that Browns team for me, though, is just the fact that just because these guys talk all nice and stuff during interviews and stuff, it's a different.
Yeah, I understand.
They're in a different playing field when they're out on that field, and you have guys that are explosive. We've seen Baker Mayfield when he gets angry, he explodes out there.
Yeah.
When Odell gets angry, he explodes, and I'm not talking about exploding in a good way. I'm talking about exploding and they get. I
don't even think Odell thinks he makes those crazy catches. When he's just like floating in the air and grabbing, I don't even think he thinks he's doing that.
No, but I'm saying he's explosive in the fact that like with the whole sideline with the field goal net, where he's kicking that. Like these players, they have a lot of explosive young guys on this team, and I think it's a ticking time bomb for them right now.
But they let go of Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
See, that's the other thing, right? I think Hugh Jackson was already a bad coach, and bad coach, they went 7-8-1. I mean, I'd like to trust that football. Again, your opinion is that doesn't matter, but football, I think, trumps that because 7-8-1 with Hugh Jackson.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
I think the problems aren't going to be on the field. I think the problems are going to be more off the field.
I agree.